Chiefs Kingdom, we need to talk.
Training camp is heating up, but so are the injury reports. We've got Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy banged up, new signings at corner, and Rashee Rice talking growth.
Plus, are the Chiefs really shopping Joshua Williams? Let's talk about it. From the heart of Kansas City, we bring you Buk and Bob Take on Chiefs Kingdom. I'm Bob.
I'm Buck. We're not fancy analysts,
but we have just as many bad takes. What's up, Buck?
We had a busy weekend, man. I know we're gonna talk about it a little bit, but we got together with the all chiefed up guys and a bunch of their listeners, and it was a super fun weekend.
It's been wild just since training camp started for me. I honestly didn't know how much was going to go into training camp, and I've been swamped, man, and making videos and trying to deal with footage, and oh my gosh, it's been all over the place. But yeah, we got to meet up with the AOC crew. Got to meet a lot of the people that are in chat, talking all the time. It was a great time. I'll throw it on stage here real quick, but got to get a picture with the guys. Unfortunately, this is the low res picture, but
you still see our mugs, so that's a good one.
Yep, my mom sent it to the Buk and Bob voicemail. If anybody ever wants to leave a voicemail, it's 816-866-1066. But she texted to there, and it texted the low res images. So I'll have to get her to airdrop it to me next time I'm with her. But we also got a picture with a bunch of the crew. Unfortunately, a bunch of the crew had left when everybody thought to do the picture, but it was great though, because I love how Tamba that Brian Parrott won from us is just right there front and center.
Yeah, they saw that picture and they were like, oh, Tamba's got to be in this. Yeah, there were probably 25, 30 people there at one point. It was fun, man.
Yeah, it was
a lot of good people, a lot of good food, really good barbecue.
It was really good. It was super cool. We got to meet Melissa and her husband.
Bucky.
Yep. I think that's probably Bucky talking right now.
Probably.
Melissa's. He just likes to catfish people with her picture up there. But yeah, they were cool. We met a bunch of people, and yeah, it was super cool just to see all the excitement and everything else. Yeah,
it was a great time. Sadly, I had to leave right as the restaurant closed, so I know everybody kind of hung out and talked and chatted in the parking lot after I left. But and I gave your mom a ride home too. So so we sadly had to leave. I know your mom wanted to hang out and talk. She's a talker just like your dad is.
Just like me too, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. The apple didn't fall far from the tree here.
Yeah, and I had to leave. They were still talking. I wanted to stay, but I had my cousin and his daughter in town, and so I had to hightail it out earlier. I'm usually the last person to leave any party or get together. That's just kind of my thing. Like, they're just kind of dragging me out at the end, but I had to take other people's feelings into consideration. So,
good job, man. Yeah. You are usually the last one to leave. It's like the FOMO. You got the fear of missing out.
I do, and I'm like, well, I'm staying. And it's worked out for me. I've met a lot of people stay until the end of the party. I've like Comic-Con last year, I ended up in the party that was run by the guy that runs Comic-Con or played at Comic-Con. But I ended up in that after party because I was just out late, But so you had to take my mom because my car was full and we were going a little bit earlier. But my mom brought a whole bunch of Buk and Bob gear.
She had it was
right
great.
Here.
We were
right here on the right, And she got right in there, right next to Mike.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, we were riding two there, right? And I didn't even see her her clear bag that she had for Chiefs training camp was full of Buk and Bob stuff. But she's drinking from her Buk and Bob mug. And right when we get there, she's like, I got to leave this in the car. Bob told me not to bring too much. And then she comes in with this bag and she starts giving these things away. She gave me a koozie. Yeah. Your mom is a great supporter. Absolutely love spending the time with her. We had some good conversation, both to and from the place. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. But we had such a good time. That's so cool that they do that every year and and meet up, and I thought it was a great time, and I had a blast. But we need to get into talking about Chiefs because this is a Chiefs show. And there are other shows that talk for 20 minutes about their personal lives, and I'm like, I like you guys, but Chiefs, come on.
So get on with it.
We need to follow our own rules. So what do you want to talk about first, dude? There's so much going on. Let's talk wide receivers first. And chat, you can bring in anything if you want us to talk about. We kind of don't really have an itinerary today. We're kind of just going off the cusp. There's so much to talk about. We're not going to get to talk about everything we want to talk about. So what's most important to you is most important to us. So go ahead and let us know what you would like us to talk about, and we'll give it a shot. But first off, I want to talk wide receiver, dude. And if you had told me this last year when we picked up Tyquan Thornton, I was like, okay. Like camp body, or not camp body, but
practice
squad body. Yeah, he did work out. You know, I didn't know much about the guy. He's been destroying it in camp. Destroying it. I mean, I don't see how he doesn't make the team. Like he's most likely going to be the gunner on special teams, kickoffs, and he's just catching everything. He's really putting on a show. And he's a true X, you know, like prototypical body type that we haven't had in a long time. So, we're gonna get to Royals, Eric. But first, I want to talk about Tyquan.
Yeah, I'm excited. Now, just like you said, I mean, he was just kind of another name at the bottom of the list for the longest time. So to me, you know, his name is pretty much just popped up in the last week or two. I know you've been to a lot of the training camps. Oh, you got some of the oobleck. You went to a bunch of the training camps, and you've been talking about him for a while. I have not been able to pay attention to anything that he's been doing yet. However, I'm really excited that this. I mean, like you said, he's kind of got the body type of a true X, something that Mahomes just hasn't had. If he's performing and he's able to make this squad, and I'm hoping he's going to make the squad over somebody else that I know we're going to mention that I just hate hearing his name at this point. It absolutely does. I mean, it's like that pestering sore on the back of your leg that you can't really reach and you can't really treat, and it just won't go away. And he's the fact that he might make this team absolutely.
Right. Well, I'm gonna cut you off right there. We're not talking about that anymore. So, but Tyquan, he's really looked. I mean, I just didn't even expect this coming into camp, and it's a very pleasant surprise. On top of that, Royals is coming along way faster than I thought. And we had talked about, hey guys, temper your expectations. You know, the wide receiver room's really full, but he's making a case to get a good amount of snaps his rookie year, regardless of who's in the wide receiver room, which is exciting for me. I mean, I did not see that coming, but he's catching everything too, and I'm watching him every day at camp and just going, huh. Wow.
Yeah, with Royals, the only thing I'm really worried about, and when I say worried, it's a very it's very, I don't even know the word to use. I'm not really worried unless he gets somehow thrust into the position that Worthy was put in last year, and then he's got all this pressure. As long as he's not expected to take over the wide receiver room, yeah, I think this guy, he's going to surprise a lot of people. Again, I don't want to say his name. Royals is doing great. Let's hope that he's, maybe third or fourth on the list, and he doesn't need to be that guy. And, he's targeted 3 to 5 times a game at most, and he makes those catches. I'm really excited. Hopefully he can be completely in tune by the time the playoffs come, and he can be a huge, huge contributor into potentially the 4th Super Bowl appearance in a row.
Well, and what I've seen, so what I've seen from him is he's quiet. He's not messing around. He's not joking around with the team. From what everybody says, he's really just locked in focus, and I guess he's like a sponge. He's just actually picking everything up really fast, which is the big thing we always talk about with Andy Reid's offense. They want wideouts to be able to play all the different roles, and it looks like he's going to be smart enough to actually learn it quick enough to do that. And that's something just really just kind of surprising right off the bat. Now, you talked about pressure. Will he be able to handle the pressure of the big games and everything? And hopefully he won't have to have that, like you said, because we should be sitting pretty good. So, there is that, but he's looking like, it's out of this world how different he is from the majority of rookie wide receivers I see come in. He's in front of where Worthy was last year in camp, for sure.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, I feel like we were having this similar conversation about Worthy at the beginning of last year, but we didn't know it was ahead of us. We didn't know that the wide receiver room was just going to break all their legs at the same time, and he was going to be the guy. So I think, again, as long as he doesn't have to step up into that role, he can just do his job, go out there and focus on what he needs to do. He's going to be a great addition to this wide receiver room. Super excited about this.
Yep. And then Elijah Badger, a lot of people haven't been talking about him, but he looks good too. I don't necessarily see him making the team if Tobe stays so much on Nico. But everybody's saying Nico's a lock because of what Tobe said. And that's just weird to me and probably you, because Tobe said he would go to bat and basically die for Nico last year, right before the 53-man cut, and he got cut. So
yes, he did, yeah.
I don't know that Tobe has a whole bunch of say in these matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just because he says Nico's far and above, I don't know that means anything about Nico making the 53-man roster. But he's continued to talk about it this week, saying he's even getting better. But
I think
if Rashee Smith keeps catching well, you gonna take Rashee Smith, who can be a threat out of the backfield, a receiving threat, and Rashaad's been coming along. We're not talking about running backs, but he's been coming along in the blocking game, which was what everybody was scared he wasn't going to be able to do. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, and that's just what I was going to say. So Andy Reid, we know that he likes to kind of pull double duty, for some of these guys, and I think that's the biggest reason that Nico didn't make the team last year, is because he might be the return guy, but he really isn't able to produce a whole lot in the receiving game, if at all. We had a huge problem with our receiving room last year, and he didn't get called up. There were other options that they had to pursue. So that would be the only reason that I think that he might still not make the 53.
Yeah, and I've seen, they do the catching drills where all the receivers are up catching, and I'm sorry, Tyquan Thornton catches all the things Nico doesn't. Rashard Smith catches all the things Nico doesn't. I mean, if Nico's going to make this team right now, from what I've seen, it's special teams and special teams only. So I just don't know that's in the cards. Like, I just don't. Yeah, I just don't know. I could be wrong, but I'm telling you, just because Tome says that he wants him doesn't mean that he's going to get him. But we've seen that in the past.
Yep. Sadly.
What do we got here from HD Chiefs fan?
The thing that helps Nico this year is the way he performed for us last year. When he got called up.
Season.
When he got called up to return.
On punt returns. Like, tell me, like, I can't remember. I mean, I think he might have had one good catch in the actual receiving game.
Yeah, I don't even remember that. But I do remember his returns, though. I mean, I believe he was way better than what you would want your average return guy to do.
Yeah, he looked good.
And if he can continue
even
that,
Bill
maybe
Belichick talked about him. We've talked
maybe
about that
he
before.
does make the 53 as just a return guy. I don't know. We wanted him to last year. We were excited about him making the 53. But if he's not able to produce on the field as a wide receiver, then there are so many other options for that return spot. So I'd love to see him make the team, but not so much that I'd want to lose another, a receiver. Well, though we do know who the bottom receiver might be that might make this team, and I'd love to see anybody make the team. That guy that played Casey Wolf for 35 years, I'd rather see him on the receiving squad at this point.
Yeah. Okay, so all right, so Melissa Miller's asking, it's probably Bucky. But
so how many receivers do you think we keep and who?
Before we tell you who, can I ask you guys a favor? If you're watching this, please hit that like button. Help this get out to more people. We keep forgetting to say that, but we do need to say it because you guys forget. I forget watching all the different people, and when they remind me, I go ahead and hit that like button, and it helps us get out to other people. So do that for us real quick. I appreciate it tremendously. And with that being said, so I think okay, Rashee Rice is most likely on the suspended list and not taking up a roster spot. So take him out. He would for sure be wide receiver 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna have Worthy,
Juju,
Hollywood. Well, let's go in order of how important. Worthy,
okay.
Hollywood Brown. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then probably Juju.
I don't know I think Royals is above Juju.
You think he's Andy Reid doesn't just like to put trust in his rookies.
I don't know that he's I just think there's no possible way Royals doesn't make the team. There could be instances where Juju Smith-Schuster doesn't make the team, but there's no possible way Royals doesn't. So that's why I put Royals. But
okay.
Juju Smith-Schuster would be my number 4.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got Worthy, Hollywood, Juju, Royals. I think Tyquan Thornton is for sure gonna make it at this point, barring injury. That's 5.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think Sky Moore is definitely a lock. No, I'm kidding.
We might have to take a break.
Sorry, the Twitch is back. Sorry. All right, I'm back. Okay. That hurt. But so we got 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think at this point, Nico does make it as a return guy. But I think Elijah Badger, it's a hit and miss between Elijah Badger and him. Like, I don't know. Like,
just going from the hype train that I've heard, as far as watching little videos on TikTok and that kind of thing. I mean, Tyquan is definitely taking the spotlight right now over Elijah Badger, as far as that's concerned. I haven't seen nearly enough of either one of them on the practice field or obviously in any kind of game situation to know. But that's definitely going to be a spot. Those two guys, I'm going to be watching like a hawk during the preseason games.
Well, and I think Elijah Badger. The thing that worries me about him is I don't actually think we want to put him on there, but I don't think he clears waivers. If he's on that first cut for the 53-man roster, I think another team picks him up. I don't think he clears waivers. And that's what worries me about him. Jason Brownlee, I haven't seen much from, and Jimmy Holiday.
And Magdalena?
Is anybody in chat? Yeah, I haven't seen it. I mean, Magdalena's not even on the not even on the list of people that are going to get snaps in this first game. But what do people know about Jimmy Holiday and Jason Brownlee? Because I have not seen much from them at all. Maybe chat knows something about them.
Yeah. So at this point, I'm thinking 6 are probably going to make the 53 right out the gate. That's just kind of my feeling.
That's what I think too.
Just kind of looking
6.
at this.
Because I think we're taking 5 running backs.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, there's always that possibility that because of the way that the Brashard Smith is catching the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
he's kind of a receiver. So it's kind of like you have 5 running backs and 7 receivers, or just 4 running backs, 6 receivers. You got that tweeter guy that's just like kind of considered both.
And the caveat to the running backs is one of those running backs is going to be a fullback steal, most likely.
Steal.
So really Steele, 3 running backs and a fullback.
Andy talked about it in his presser about how, there's a couple people, like 2 or 3 every year, that make it just because of special teams. And Steele is a monster on special teams. And I'm not talking about returning. I'm talking about doing the dirty work on special teams. He's a big body,
Yeah, Brian said, Andy ought to trade Sky for a 20-piece with sweet and sour sauce. Yeah, but you know what we know here is that Veach has been able to get the world out of nothing. So Veach might get a second-round pick for Sky Moore. That'd be amazing.
No, he won't. He won't. 6th round, maybe, though. 6th round could happen. Could happen. I don't know how, but that's
because
he's making magic.
That's what he does.
Yeah, I think 2 is Veach having, pictures of somebody that they don't want hitting the press. Like, that's the only way Veach gets it for that. So Juju, HD Chiefs fans, this is we've been talking about this forever. Juju does the dirty work. He's going to make it. But I just don't know. I don't know if Tyquan Thornton's willing to do, special teams. Maybe he's doing dirty work too, And if you could have your guys that can really do damage also doing dirty work, that puts the defensive coordinator in a box where they're like, well, is he going deep or is he going to pick,
I don't see Juju not making this team. Not only does he do the grunt work, he's willing to do the dirty work, but when his number's called, he makes the catch. He does what he needs to do.
A vet presence.
Yeah, absolutely. He's still got some speed too. I mean,
which we have to remember. Rice is only his 3rd year. You know what I mean? Rice isn't exactly a vet. Like, we have a young wide receiver core here going on, and Juju's the old man there. And
he missed a majority of last season too, so it's not like he had a full season last year.
But Melissa says, sorry, Bucky, I just have to call you out as your name on the thing. So
I hate saying this, but I think Andy keeps Sky around. Hope I'm wrong. Well, I hope you're wrong too.
I hope you're wrong too. I just don't see, out of the 6 we mentioned, because we didn't even mention Elijah Badger, and I can't see him not keeping Elijah Badger and keeping Sky Moore. I just don't. I just wouldn't get that. Like, he's not really a huge help in special teams because he's a small guy and he can't catch the ball. Well, at least he's not comfortable with it. And, the coaching staff, they even tried to get him to go in. What was it, last year? And he was like, I don't want to do it. I want to do it. You know, so like he's just kind of broken there. He needs to go get a fresh start on another team because I don't think he's as bad as we make him out to be. He needs to be a slot guy on a team that has a whole bunch of X and Y's. You know, he needs but we have a whole bunch of slot guys. You know, so
Yeah.
he's just not really. He just doesn't really work for us. But yeah, I think. Twitch piece. Oh, you already put that one up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Steele. I mean, we can go ahead and talk about running backs. I mean, honestly, I think right now we take Pacheco, Hunt, Mitchell, Smith, and Steele.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen or heard anything that would refute any of these guys making the team. And Steele, you know, they've been working, like you mentioned, they've been working him a lot into the tight end position too, which means he's training a lot more with catching the ball. So maybe him catching the ball out of the backfield, you know, maybe even lining up on the line every once in a while just to kind of throw everybody off. I think this running back room is silently becoming fairly solid. Kareem has looked. The one time I made it to the practice or the training camp, he was looking solid. I mean,
but
better than he was last year.
Hunt's lost weight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Hunt's looked fast, like really fast. You know, and it's.
But it doesn't look like he's lost any of that,
right? You know, but it's still he's looked fast.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like he's lost any of that bull rush kind of attitude. You know, he'll do everything he can to break a tackle, but if not, it's kind of like Pacheco. He'll dive right in and go for those extra 2 or 3 yards as he's going down. Yeah, I'm really excited for Kareem Hunt this season. I really am. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people.
Yeah, I think. Okay, so Pacheco, I'm rooting for him, but if Pacheco comes out and is performing like he was at the end of the year last year, I mean, Kareem Hunt's going to get the bulk of the carries. It's just going to happen. But you also look at Kareem Hunt, you know, if you look at his career stats, you know, he had some real good years, you know, like 2 after leaving us, but then he really did, you know, go down to like a short yardage, 3 yards a carry back for the majority of his years, you know, after that before coming to us. And then he had that last year too. I believe it was 3-something last year. And I mean, it's also due to a lot of the Browns were playing him in the short yardage stuff and giving Chubb the majority of the carries. Hunt is also, you know, when he was with us, you have to remember if we had played him the same back when he was with us the first time, we had played him the same as we played him last year and played him, you know, and the Browns played him, he would have had 3 point, you know, whatever yards. Mm-hmm. Derrick Henry, if he was played that way, would have 3 point whatever yards. Yes. Yes. Because,
I think he drags guys for an extra. I want to give him 4 something.
Oh no.
He's such a beast, man.
Nope, you're not. You're missing the whole point. So what pushes Kareem Hunt and that type of back up to like a 4.5 from a 3.5?
Breaking tackles?
No.
What are you getting at?
25 yards. Our 25 carries a game is what puts those type of backs up because they get 1 or 2 long runs that increase that number. So if they're only getting 10 to 15 rushes, that type of back, they're always going to have like a 3, like a 3 something. Derrick Henry is the same way. You look at it, 1 or 2 of his rushes per game will actually make up that difference. And that's what people fail to see a lot of times when they're just looking at that stat. They don't look at the game.
Yeah, and Melissa said Hunt is willing to do anything for this team. If he's going to be stuck at 3-something yards per carry for a game, I think if it means winning as a Chief and getting to the Super Bowl again, he's more than willing to play that role.
Yep.
And can we give it up real quickly for Elijah Mitchell? His 96% chance to be re-injured, and he's not there yet. So, good job, Elijah.
That is
We're
true.
proud of you, buddy.
96% chance of injury. According, what was that site? Injury something.
I don't know. It was you that brought it up. So,
but yeah,
I don't know where you found it.
I really wanted to point that out because those types of backs need 20 to 25 carries to actually have a good yards per carry average afterwards, and a lot of people just never think about that. And I just wanted to point it out for them because these poor running backs take it for the team, and people don't even think about that. Like you like there's no running back that's just running for 5.5, or 4.5 a rush. They're getting a lot of stuffs, and they're having one or two big runs in the game, which only come with repetition normally, and that's what gives them the higher average, and people just forget that.
Yeah.
What is this one?
HD Chiefs fan said, we're always taught that the O-line is responsible to get the first 3 yards, and then the running back is responsible for getting 3 more yards. This O-line isn't really set up to be a running offense, though. I mean, they're just not.
Yeah. We've got one running beast, and that's Trey. But
we'll see what happens with Josh Simmons.
Could be Simmons too. I don't know a ton.
And on the right side, if Jawan Taylor loses that starting spot, DJ, he could be a better running blocker. So we'll see how that goes. But I mean, if they come out the gate, go ahead.
And Brian Parrott had a really funny one about pussified O-line. I lost it. I tried to.
Here we go.
Do it.
If this O-line looks pussified in Brazil, y'all remember I called it free hat limit 1, eh?
Okay. All right. Maybe we'll see. We might do a thing for that, but we'll just have to see. Welcome to the show, Chiefs Blitz. We've talked about wide receivers and running backs so far, but now we're going to quickly talk about Jawan Taylor. So I gained quite a bit of respect for this guy. I did not realize how tough he was. So did you know, Buck, because this is something that just came out this last week, it was kind of hidden from the NFL, really, and the injury report and everything else. So it's kind of hidden. Jawan Taylor was injured in week 5 last year. Injured his knee.
Yeah, and I think I did hear that actually last week. Sarim Petro was talking about it on the radio, and I remember hearing it, and I was kind of talking to the guy I was working with, so I didn't catch the whole thing. But I thought to myself, what's he talking about? He was injured, but he was playing hurt, and he knew that if he went down, we were going to be in a world of hurt, so he just took it for the team. And that's kind of where they were going with this is, with all those penalties that he committed, he was probably compensating for the injury and trying to stay on top of his game.
Hey, don't go too far, dude. The injuries were before just week 5 of last year. Or the penalties before just week 5 of last year. But it gave me some respect and some just like, damn, dude, you're tough, because he had to have fluid pulled from it every week, like about like I think it was either 6 hours or 12 hours before game time, and it was just a constant hurt, and he toughed through it because he knew they were effed if he didn't do that. And I mean, that just gave me, I kind of felt bad making fun of him for all the false starts, but you still can't do that. But either way, how bad would it have been if he had went ahead and just said, "No, this hurts too much, dude. I just can't do this." Like, how bad? Like, we wouldn't have made it to the Super Bowl. I mean, we would have been hosed. Although Maybe they put Kingsley at right tackle at that point, and I get proved right that he would have always succeeded at right tackle.
I don't know. I'll tell you what. If it gets down to Kingsley getting stuck out on right tackle because of injury or for any other reason, hey, maybe he will succeed. Great, but I'm going to be nervous. I'm going to be real nervous if that happens.
He's been looking good at left guard. He's been looking really good.
And if he's able to keep that position for the season, then I'm really excited about the playoff run.
Yep. What we got here? Don't forget, Jalen Moore may end up being the left guard, and him and Simmons side by side spells domination. I don't think so. With how Sua Mataia has performed, and the fact, I mean, Jalen Moore actually kind of hurts his case because he's been able to play left tackle, right tackle, left guard. If you see him this week coming in at right guard, if you see him coming in at center, there's no way he's going to be the guy that just plays every position. If he can actually play center too. So I think Sua Mataia is winning this, and he's getting praised by Andy, but Andy praised him last year too at the left tackle. So you're gonna have to see during a game.
That's right.
I think he's a year older. He's been in the NFL a year. He's not on the three-peat team as a 20-year-old. You know what I mean? I think he's grown a lot. You can tell just in his pressers where he talks. He's a lot more confident than he was last year, and I think Sua Mataia is going to be just fine over there, and he's a dog and a beast physically. So,
well, I'm not going to get my hopes up too much until we see him perform in a real NFL game. Not even the preseason. It's got to be a real NFL game. So there's a lot to prove for me, but I'm pulling for him. I hope he is, man. I want this offensive line to give Mahomes some time, because that's when we're going to see the fireworks. And then at that point, I really don't care who's a wide receiver. I really don't. All you got to have is somebody that can catch the ball, and I think they got a few guys that can catch the ball. At that point, anything, any yards after catch is just, icing on the cake.
Well, and we have the gauntlet with the Chargers and the Eagles right off the bat. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then, believe it or not, that O-line has its work cut out for when they go to the Giants. The Giants' D-line is sick. So we have a pretty rough little start to, then we go against the Ravens. So, I mean, the O-line is going to be tested fast and early. So we'll definitely get to see. But
and that's kind of my worry with the Kingsley thing, right? Because last season, when he started off at left tackle, it wasn't horrible right off the bat. But then in the Bengals game, he got beat a bunch of times by an otherworldly Hendricks. I mean, he's going to beat almost any offensive lineman one-on-one. And he took Kingsley on, and to me, it seemed to break his spirit. He just wasn't able to bounce back from it mentally. And
how do you know that? Because
I don't
until later on in the season.
There's nothing. It's literally just kind of how I feel things went. The first game wasn't bad. Second game was horrible, and then after that, he did come in a few times, and he
came in and was great when he came back in. Yeah, he came back in at the end of the season. He played great.
Not at left tackle.
No, he never came back in at left tackle, but everybody talks about it killed his confidence, and I'm just sitting there thinking, I remember the Cowboys game where he's standing there just happy to be making shade for his guys, because the Cowboys have that stadium built to put the sun on the opposing team.
He
looked fine to me. He didn't look like he was like, but everybody talks about his confidence being ruined, and I'm like, I think he was probably fine with it. Like, that's
just making a paycheck, being an umbrella.
I don't know, but I don't know just as much as everybody who says it killed his confidence doesn't know. You know what I mean? So I don't know that that's actually a thing. And honestly, I expect in the first couple weeks for Josh Simmons to struggle more than Kingsley.
Maybe. Maybe. I mean, that one's hard to argue. But man, if you, I know it's rookie coming into the NFL for the first time, but the way that he's throwing these defensive linemen around in the training camp, it's hard to believe that he's not going to be at least able to hold his own. But I feel by halfway through the season, we're going to be seeing things from him that are just going to blow our minds.
Oh,
I really do.
I think he's the future, but remember, left tackle is the reason they get paid the most. It's the hardest spot to play in the NFL. He's gonna go through his rookie trials and tribulations. If he doesn't, then it'll be even more of a freaking crazy steal. And Brett Veach will just be. I mean, we'll just have to put a Eiffel Tower size statue of him, right in the dead center of Kansas City. Because
do they put GMs in the Hall of Fame? Because if Simmons works out, I think he's pretty much solidified his Hall of Fame position. At this point, the way that he's run this team since he's taken over, I don't see any reason that he wouldn't be if he continues on this path. I mean, his picks are working out at a staggering pace as compared to other GMs and their picks.
Yep.
And his trades.
Then Brian says the fact that our O-line isn't a great running line makes Hunt that much better. The same line gives Pacheco major problems. Hunt knows how to read it, and you can say it. You can say it the other way too. Like Pacheco might be even better if he had a line that did more hole breaking, because but Hunt has extremely good vision. That's why different players work out better in different systems, or worse in different systems, So yeah, but I definitely agree. When the lines break it down, Hunt's the guy to go to. Incredible vision. What is this one?
Eric Humphreys. This is the first time they said the same thing about Nico and told him adios.
Wonder what that was pertaining to.
It was about 7 minutes ago. I think we were talking about Nico and the return, making the team.
What are we talking about? Okay.
Yeah.
What do we got here? Want to pay more guard money? He can do that. I'm just trying to read the comments here so we make sure we don't. Come on, Buck can dream too.
Yeah.
Bob Buck. Be like a Cowboys name. I'm Bob Buck. How you doing, Bob Buck? Which he says. Or wait, hold on. Is this Brian talking more about the O-line coaches?
No, he doesn't bring up Andy Heck. Even if the left tackle is stellar, we could still have major O-line problems. Coaches and premium pass rushers ain't stupid. That's right, but all you can do is build a line to try to keep that from happening. So if the left tackle is stellar, I still like my chances with Mahomes as the quarterback. I really do. Because Andy Reid ain't stupid and Matt Nagy ain't stupid. If somebody's getting around this offensive line, then they're gonna scheme something up. So the left tackle, to me, Simmons is the key to this season.
Yep. Okay, so Witchy says that general managers can go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
I think Veach is a lock.
Can
owners? I'll bet they can. I bet they can. I mean, if a manager can, why not? GM can.
So if they put the right dudes in number one spots, this line will be outstanding. Now, Nathan, what dudes are the right dudes?
Well, I think that's what we're talking about. I think that's what we're talking about.
But does he have a thought of who are the right dudes? That's what I'm curious about. Matt Nagy might be stupid. The jury is still out. We'll see. Dude, I think the biggest problem with Matt is was
He's a yes guy.
is the opposite of the biggest problem we had with Eric Bieniemy.
Mm-hmm.
Matt is a yes guy, and Eric Bieniemy is a no guy.
He was a hell nah guy.
And we need like something in between, maybe. Like it's like because Eric Bieniemy caused all kinds of problems. Like him and Patrick Mahomes got in a fight during a playoff game. Before halftime, like a literal fight. Not like a fist fight, but they were jawing each other during a game. It was embarrassing, And I'm like, oh, Eric needs to go, and then Eric goes, and I'm like, okay, well, Eric, maybe Eric was okay. Well, maybe we do need somebody to say, hey, we need to run, Andy. We need to run.
Oh, Brian was being the grammar police.
Oh,
use a comma because you said Bob Buck. Brian doesn't miss a thing.
Yeah. Chiefs Blitz. We talked about this. Everybody seems to think Mihio is like on the team because Tobe said that he's bar none in front of everybody else. But Tobe said he would go to bat for Remigio.
He said pound the tables, specifically.
And he talked about him, like he was the next coming of, punt return Jesus. And
Dion.
he got cut. He got cut, and he went to the practice squad, but he did not make the initial 53-man roster. So,
and that was kind of what because Dave Tobe is pounding the table for his guy doesn't mean that guy's going to make it. And Tobe is pretty much saying the same thing about Remigio this preseason, and we're all kind of getting hyped up about it because of the way that he was able to return at the end of last season, and it just doesn't mean he's going to make the team. Witchy says Pro Football Hall of Fame GMs include Tex Schramm, Bill Polian, Ron Wolf, Bobby Bittard, Gil Brandt, and George Young. And Brett Veach. Soon.
Okay, hold on. I gotta see this. Is this a thing? Okay. I was curious. I was like, well, is Tex Schramm related to Hank Schramm? They were not
no, that's
directly
Stram.
related.
Hank is Stram, not Schramm.
Okay. I'm reading it right here, and their names are spelled the same.
Oh, are they? Maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, it says Tex. Well, this is the AI. Could be wrong. It says Tex Schramm and Hank Schramm were not directly related. Tex Schramm, whose full name was Texas Ernest Schramm Jr., was the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys for 29th season. Hank Schramm, also known as Henry Schramm, was a resident of Evanston, Illinois, and married to Betty Mae Schramm. They met in their youth and devoted teens. Okay. Wow. So is that actually how you spell Hank Schramm's name? Because I was pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah. Hank Schramm is. No, it's Hank
not with
Stram.
a T? Yeah, Hank Schramm.
Yeah, it's just Tram. That's so weird that somebody wrote in. That's so funny.
Stanley's got a good little wrap up here.
Oh. Wait, hold on.
All right, go ahead.
Hank Stram, never heard of him, certainly not a pro football player. Could be thinking Hank Stram, who coached the Chiefs for Super Bowl IV. Okay, I think that is how you spell Hank Stram. It's not Stram.
Really?
Dude, I'm so confused right now. Hank Stram. Oh my gosh, dude, the internet is just, used to be cool.
All right, Chiefs head coaches in order.
What is this is the internet has failed us. What I get for looking at Wikipedia. Okay. Chiefs. Hank. It's got to be Hank Stram.
It is Stram.
Yeah, it is. just somebody thought they knew correctly, and like that's so funny, and that comes up in the searches. Wow. Oh, that's horrible.
All right, well, so to kind of sum up the whole O-line conversation, Stanley Mooney puts it very well here. As long as Mahomes is not running for his life for the entire game like last year, then we are improving and hopefully steamrolling these teams. I have a hard time believing that especially the first 4 games, anybody's going to be steamrolling anybody.
I don't see a steamroll, yeah.
But hopefully by mid-season, these guys can start gelling together and Simmons can really catch his stride. I hope to see some steamrolling. But that's not what the Chiefs do right now.
That's the thing, though. People need to not be, if we do start off slow, people need to not be scared. The first half of our season is front-loaded. I mean, we have a lot of competition in the first half of the season. We could go 4-4 to start this season, and then easily win the rest of the games out, barring maybe one loss. So don't worry if we have a few losses in the first half of the season. Now, if we're like 0-7, then worry. But, don't worry if we're just like, if we've got 3 or 4 losses going to the halfway mark. We just like Buck said, the O-line could start to gel right then. It could be huge.
Well, you should worry because you predicted 2 losses and I predicted 5. So if they get to 4 losses, that means I'd be right.
Did I predict 2 losses?
Yeah, I think so. When we did our 1-loss episode, I thought that's what you said. I think you were on a Chiefs high though at that point. No, what did you say?
I predicted 14-3. You predicted 12-5.
12-5. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I keep the receipts.
So 4 losses would be right in the middle. All right. Yeah, I knew you did.
Yeah. So. But I mean, that's not going to make me sweat. That's just
no. I agree.
Guessing, what I mean? Like we're going to be wrong. I mean, people are going to be wrong. Like that's the name of the game. And if you're trying to do something where you're thinking you're going to be right on everything, you might as well just quit.
Yeah. You just can't.
You know what I mean?
Can't know. Yeah.
Yep. But you do kind of polish your awesome ones, when I say Hunt's going to come in and he's going to change the game. And I said that as soon as we signed him, and I was right.
Yeah, I was very hesitant. Yep, definitely hesitant.
Said, yeah, it looks like we're probably going to cut Joe Tooney. Everybody's like, you're freaking crazy. Traded 2 days later. I was like, okay, well. Veach got even more for him than I would have expected. I just figured he'd probably get cut. And then Nick Bolton, everybody at KCSM was like, he sucks. They're not going to sign him. I was saying it since day one. They're going to sign him. You're crazy. Like he's a good freaking linebacker. But yeah, but then I've been wrong about a ton of shit too. So. You know what I mean?
Just as many bad takes.
Yep. It's just like that's just how it goes.
That's what we do.
Yep. It's just fun to talk about. That's why we do this. That's why people like these things. That's why, that's why we we even do this.
Oh, look, somebody's talking a little trash over here.
What is it?
Your mom, actually, Debbie Schisler, finally tunes in. She said old Chiefs coach's name spelled Hank Stram, and then follows it up with a Google it. His name is Hank Stram. Yeah.
How is that talking trash?
She's throwing it out there. Yep.
Yes. Debbie's Bob's mom. One of the first Chiefettes, guys.
She was the first Chiefette, she said, at that get-together is what she said.
The first Chiefette.
I thought she said the first one, but okay.
I don't think they just had one. It was the first team.
Well, no, but somebody got the offer first.
No. It
was in my mind, she was number 1.
A squad without a squad. Okay, so where was I going?
Never
Yeah,
listen
dude,
to anything
Brian,
KCSN.
Craig's awesome. Thank you for turning me on to that because I didn't even watch that show. Like I'd catch it sometimes. I was like, dude, Craig makes that show. That Craig's awesome.
Craigster.
Yeah, and so now I really like that show. But before I was like, what is this? I really like what's his name too. The other KCSN show. I really like Matt Verraib. He's an acquired taste. Like I didn't like him at first, and now I just love him. I mean, Tucker still sucks, but I love Matt. I'm kidding. Tucker's fine. But Matt's awesome. I should stop talking shit on like they will bury us. They will come beat us up and everything else.
Beat us up.
Okay, so where did I want to go after that? Whew.
See.
I'm just getting so excited talking about, dude. There's so much to talk about, dude. So Ashton Gelati talked about his fight with Josh Simmons. Yeah.
What did he have to say?
He said, "Who cares?"
Yeah, it's training camp. It's hot. It shows passion. It shows love for the game. And you know what? Like you said, I think it was last week. You said a lot of times when these guys fight, it brings them closer together in the end. And I fully believe that these guys are going to be best friends if they're not already.
We actually talked about that while we were doing our video. So that was something I might have said. It might have made the cut for me to say it in the video, but we haven't talked about it on the podcast. So we haven't talked about the fight. So I was kind of wanting to hear your thoughts on the fight, and he got in another fight with Mike Dana.
That's news to me.
Just yesterday, I think.
I'll be honest, that worries me a little bit. After the first one, it's like I said, it's hot out there. It was in the 90s when they're out there, and you got these guys going against each other. They're not supposed to be going 100%, but as rookies, they're trying to show everything that they have, and he's got a passion for the game. Now, if he's going up against more of a veteran in Mike Dana, that worries me a little bit. Maybe he's a hothead. Maybe he's a Myles Garrett type where he can't continue when he loses, when he gets to that certain point where his anger is taken over and he can't control it. That does concern me a little bit. This is way too soon to make that call. It's way too soon to say that, for sure. But it is a little concerning for me.
Okay, so I'm kind of in the same boat. So the first one, I was just like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, cool. And they blew it off. Like, they were fine, blah, blah, blah. But then to do it again with Mike Dana, like, just kind of was a little alarming. And then it made me think back to before the draft when there was a lot of people, saying, there was nothing proven, but there was a lot of people saying that that Josh Simmons had character issues. And I was like, I don't see any reports or anything. He's not gotten into trouble. What are they talking about character issues? And this could be a showing of those character issues. However, I'm not worried because he's in the Chiefs locker room, and I think they will get, they will get their, they will get him in line. You know,
get him under control.
Yeah, it's like, when
I don't think they'll allow it.
When you put a vicious dog into a pack of good dogs, that dog gets trained quick. And I think he's in a good locker room and a good, situation. I think he'll get, he'll he'll get his behavior corrected quicker rather than later, but it does the second fight worries me. I wasn't worried at all with the first,
right,
but the second one worries me a bit.
Yeah, you say, the whole pack of dogs scenario there.
I was actually talking about it with Jules, who's one of the, I was talking about that. We were talking about dogs at the dog park last night because I ran into him and his wife at the dog park a day after we met him at the Shoe with the Crew. So
were you following him? Did you go to that dog park that time on purpose?
No, I think he was following me.
The only thing is, I've known a few hotheads in my day, and they can change.
Hey.
I didn't name any names. I didn't name any names at all. Look,
it's fine. I was a total hothead, and I still can get that way if pushed too far. But I was a hothead fast.
Yeah, talk about Kingsley.
Young.
and Bob gets a little heated. So he's young, man, and if that's the way that he is, that's going to be hard to coach out of him. But I'm not so worried even if he ends up being that, because he won't stay on this team long. And if he won't stay on the field long, 1 or 2 penalties in the first few weeks with that kind of, I think he's going to bench him just like he did with Steele after fumbling a couple of times in 3 different weeks.
If he does it in a game, he's going to be, Travis Kelce has been in a ton of fights, in practice, in training camp.
Yes.
But I don't think he's ever been in a fight in a game. Now, he did throw a flag at a ref, which was badass.
That was awesome.
Badass, but
yeah.
But still, he never did it again. You know what I mean? It was badass because it never happened again. But do you remember Kelce early on?
Yes.
I literally used to yell at the street, "Kelce, stop being an idiot and shut up."
Yeah.
Because he was such a hothead. You could see the flames coming out of the top of his head. And you forget that looking at his Hall of Fame career now and the awesome man that he's become.
But he
was a hothead problem for the freaking team early
But it
on.
also didn't take long for us to see sparks of a Tony Gonzalez type player. It was his second or third season we started talking about this guy really is the successor to Tony Gonzalez. And there were 2 or 3 plays each season where he was like, remember that one time he made a catch and he was probably on the 5 or 10 yard line about to get a touchdown and he was celebrating too early and he dropped the ball. Do you remember that? Or maybe he punched the ball over. I don't remember exactly how that went. But there were a few times each season where it was like, man, what are you doing? What are you doing? Just catch the ball and take it over the goal line. I'll have to look that up later because it's not worth searching right now just for the sake of this conversation. Huh. But we're talking about a Hall of Fame guy, and maybe, when he was first pulling his antics, he wasn't Hall of Fame, but he had established himself as the starter on this team. Gelati hasn't done that yet, so it does concern me.
Wait,
it does concern me.
Gelati.
Yeah, because we were talking about Gelati and his fights.
No, talking about Simmons.
Oh, you were talking about Simmons.
Yeah,
I was more worried about Gelati because this is his second time.
No, it was Simmons' second time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I guess. Okay. And my bad.
And by the way, if you didn't see, Gelati only pushed Simmons threw the punch.
Yes. Simmons threw the punch.
I don't know. I was catching up on this. This weekend was crazy. I don't know if he had a punch on Dana or not. I just know that they had a scuffle.
Okay.
But Gelati, Simmons pushed Gelati. Gelati pushed Simmons back. Simmons threw the punch.
Okay, well that worries me a little bit less.
So Gelati had nothing in college talking about personality problems. Like it was all Simmons. That was one of the knocks that he was getting. So you've been thinking, Okay, so
Yeah, that's why I'm like,
Yeah.
it sounds weird. Why would he be fighting a guy on his own side of the field? But whatever. Like I said, I hadn't heard any of it at all, so I just kind of went with it. I
Well, and
will
it would be
say,
very concerning if he was fighting
yes,
Dana, because it'd be like, why? That's your guy on your side, man.
yeah, he was like, that was supposed to be my sack. I'll be honest, Simmons, that being his second altercation in training camp, worries me just about this much less than it would have had it been Gelati, only because the way that Simmons is performing out there, I think these guys are coming at him, and maybe that's what he thinks. Maybe he's getting a little too much attention, from his own teammates when he's trying to prove himself. But the thing is, the guys on the defense, even Mike Dana, a veteran, he's still trying to prove himself.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody is guaranteed a spot on this team. Well, very few guys are guaranteed a spot on this team and a starting position.
Here, Buck, real quick, everybody who's in chat, please hit that like button. Get this out to more people. Buck, turn your mic down. You turn it down to 93. You're kind of blowing it out a bit. We need to get you
I'm getting excited.
Compressor. Yeah. But we just want to make sure we're not blowing out everybody. We need to get you a condenser, guys. We got Buck a new camera. As you guys
we
see.
did. No green flashes. None yet.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys even noticed, but I noticed it every single time. It's embarrassing and.
Yep,
and
we both have the same camera. Buck has the cooler new camera, but you know what? I just have more cords I have to deal with. That's all.
That's true. You got a lot more
and
going
not
on.
a touch screen. That sucks. The touch screen is awesome. But yeah, so what do we got here?
Brian said, what do y'all think of improvements these guys have made to their show? They're learning Warp 7. They're learning at Warp 7.
Brian's talking about us. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. I mean, we're trying to learn from everybody. I mean, we don't know what we're doing. I mean, I've done podcasts, but gaming podcasts is very different. In my last podcast, I was like the Joe Rogan of WoW Classic. I just brought on everybody else and let them star for the show.
Look, it's my buddy Jason Weiss, looking sexy, brother Buck. This is an old
Brand
friend.
New camera. Brand new
camera. Thanks. Yep. It's the camera. You should have seen how ugly I looked on that GoPro. Yeah.
Good background too. We haven't talked about that. You went from looking like you were in a dark,
my mom's basement,
dark basement to like a nice, background.
Yeah. Got some good background stuff. Thank you, Bob and Mel. Mel had a lot to do with this background. Appreciate it.
You don't have your blur turned on. See, I have my blur turned on.
I don't know. Maybe it turned off when the camera turned on. I don't know.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, a 20 bomb from HD Chiefs fan. Thank you so much. Donation towards the compressor. Really appreciate it, man.
Yep. Compressors help so much. And I actually I got this new mic and I had my settings all wrong. I was super bassy for the last few episodes and videos, but it should be a little bit better now. It just takes a lot of time to research all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's rough. All right, so what should we talk about next? Chat, what do you want to talk about next? Because there's so much. All right, I'm just looking over here. We signed some new corners too.
Yeah, so the Chiefs signed cornerbacks Ajani Carter and Azizi Hearn. I love that name, Azizi. I hope he makes the team just because of his name.
More light, Aziz. More light.
They also signed
Aziz.
wide receiver Keyshawn Smith to address the secondary and to address the receiver depth. So he wasn't on our list earlier.
Keyshawn camp. Smith. That's a camp body. We are even with Rice. We could have someone else even go on the pup list, and then we just take Elijah Badger. We're sitting pretty at wide receiver, man.
Yeah, as long as I don't know, man. If Sky Moore makes this team, I immediately think that our wide receiver room is in trouble.
So, all right. Well, one thing to talk about. So we didn't talk about Sky anymore, but guys, I think he has even less of a chance to make it because he's hurt now too. He had to come out of the gate looking amazing, and he didn't, and now he's hurt. So that's why I didn't really talk about him at all. I just don't think we have to deal with it. I don't think he's going to make the team. If he does, it'll be absurd. Like, it really will.
I can't see a world where he makes the team either, but he keeps making our notes. Like we've been talking about him every week, and it's driving me nuts. Anybody that's been listening for more than 3 weeks knows how much I even hate to hear his name. It's just, it's a dead spot. If he's on this team, it's a dead spot.
Yeah, well, I don't think he's going to make it. Now, something interesting is the whole, like, a lot of people really wanted Brittingstool to make the tight end team, right? So,
and it was looking good. It was looking good.
But he's hurt now, and Robert Tonyan has been tearing it up. I know he's an older vet, but he's actually, been looking good. And that was the whole thing we talked about with Jake Brittingstool is let's wait till the pads come on. Let's see if he can take a hit, and then he gets injured.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? It's just so.
And really, when we're talking about tight end, as far as receiving tight ends are concerned, we're really just talking about a backup for Travis. We're not looking at a starter. We're not looking at a world beater. I mean, maybe to take over for Travis after he retires, but for the 2025 season, we don't need somebody out there that's looking to get 1,000 yards. So Tanyan's looking great. Brittingstool shows a lot of promise if he can get back on the field. I don't know much about his injury, how long he's suspected to be out. But
and then there's Jared Wiley.
I'm hoping that he can prove himself.
Well, he's hurt.
He had a lot of promise going into camp last year, and it just kind of fizzled.
Well, there was a lot
injury.
of people talking about him. I never really saw much out of him, but also tight ends take forever to develop. Like they're just not usually here. But I just put something up that you were supposed to read.
Oh, Debbie says I was an original Chiefette, one of about 80 of us.
I told you, an original, not the
original.
Original.
Okay. I thought that's what she said on Saturday. I had a couple of beverages.
Like that one girl
might have misheard it. Yeah, she's like, go Chiefs!
Like this little girl is so cute.
No, I think Brian's rubbing off on HD Chiefs fan here a little bit with his sense of humor. He said, "Bring a stool," and Wiley are competing for who can stay on the IR the most.
Yep.
Yeah, Wiley's got a little bit of a head start right now.
Well, and Wiley, we have to remember Travis Kelce had the same injury his first year, and he came back looking like a stud. Wiley.
But now we're looking at year 2 for Wiley, and
Wiley was looking good till he got hurt, though. He definitely was. So,
do we know much about what his injury is at this point? I mean, are we talking about a stub toe? Are we talking about a broken fibia?
I don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't know. If anybody else knows, let us know in chat. But I don't know. Yeah. So we talked about some offensive line. We talked about wide receivers. We talked about running backs. Everybody's going to think we're crazy because we say 5. I mean, the room that's scary is the cornerback room. And Najee Johnson supposedly is in talks. Supposedly there's talks about him getting traded. And I don't know that we can. Like we're so. I just don't know. Like if he's not going to make the team, okay, but I want to know what the hell is going on with Christian Fulton. because I thought Christian Fulton was coming into camp healthy. And all of a sudden, camp comes and like, oh, yeah, by the way, Christian Fulton injured. It's like, what? What'd you say, Andy? Christian Fulton's on the pup list. What? Andy, speak up. Like, it's just like, where did that come from? Like, and it was also, Jalen Moore, like, our Joe Juan Taylor, all of a sudden they just sprung that on us. Like,
yeah.
Why can't you tell us that crap when it happens? Like, off-season Chiefs, Joe Juan Taylor goes in for knee surgery. I guess they want to keep it under wraps, but it sucks. Like, it sucks not knowing.
Yeah. Christian Fulton was the player that made the interception that Rice got injured on last year. Did you know that?
Say that one more time.
Christian Fulton, the guy that we picked up.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. He was the guy that picked off the pass that Patrick injured. Yeah.
I wonder if it's a little bit of a payback from the football gods, maybe.
No, it's freaking weird, and it's got me all like freaked out. But they have been playing McDuffie more on the inside with Najee Johnson sitting on the outside. So,
which is kind of what we expected. I mean, although they said that McDuffie was going to play outside, we're still seeing them playing him on the inside, which excites me because, as you've explained before, that slot position is honestly the hardest cornerback spot to. You really need to have your fast, high twitch guys in the slot position because they've got to be able to react at the drop of a dime.
Oh my God, dude! I'm sorry. Dude, I don't know why I get Najee Johnson and Joshua Williams mixed up. Joshua Williams is the one the Chiefs might be shopping, not Najee Johnson. Najee Johnson's been getting the stuff on the outside. That's why I was like, why did I say Najee Johnson's getting the snaps on the outside? Dude, why do I get them mixed up? I've been getting them mixed up all last year and this year. Does anybody else in chat have a problem with that? Like mixing those two guys up for some weird reason?
Those two guys specifically? No, but I mean, I do that kind of thing all the time.
Yeah, okay. Well, okay, so Joshua Williams is the one that looks like the Chiefs are trying to peddle. I think I don't know. I'm kind of on the get rid of him train.
I mean, we know Brett Veach is going to get the absolute most out of any trade situation. So, I mean, if he's got a guy that he can shop out there,
it's a 6th round pick that everybody's saying. I don't know. Like a lot of people don't seem to think that and I'll be honest, I just don't know about Najee Johnson or Joshua Williams. I know Noel Williams I'm excited about, but the problem with Najee Johnson and Joshua Williams is I can't keep them separated, so I don't even remember which one was the good one last year. Isn't that horrible?
Yeah. Well, there's so many Williams on this team over the last 5 years.
It's not that, though. It's not that. It's something about those two that I can't separate them. Like, which was the one that came in and actually did okay for Jalen Watson and the one that did bad? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember to save my freaking life.
I don't know.
I think Najee Johnson did good, and I think Joshua Williams failed. But I'm not sure. It could have been the other way. I'm just keeping it straight with you guys. Like, I'm just being honest. Like, I know a lot and I've researched a lot, but that one I cannot remember to save my life. But it's gonna be interesting to see him play. Real quick though, I unfortunately have to do something really quick. So I'm going to do something to you, Buck, that I did not prep before, and I'm sorry.
There's a good question here in chat I'd like to talk about for a minute. Yeah.
Are you okay with doing it on your own?
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Oh, all right.
All right. My old buddy Jason says, serious Chiefs question here. Do you think Mahomes has addressed the mental errors that occurred in the Super Bowl? Follow-up question, what steps do you think they still need to take to get back to form that we were? I think the answer is glaringly obvious. It was the left tackle position. Joe Thuney stepped in at the end of the season last year and did a solid job at left tackle. And then in the Super Bowl, the Eagles just came out with a stellar game plan on defense and blew it up. Simple as that. Now, did Mahomes make mental errors? Absolutely. But I don't believe they were mental errors because he was in the biggest game of his life. He was in a big game. It was the three-peat possibility, and he was trying to do everything he could because it started very early in the game. Joe Thuney was just getting overpowered. So as far as addressing those mental errors, I think that addressing the mental errors just had to do with addressing the left tackle position. And the Chiefs have absolutely thrown a gauntlet of, I mean, everything that they can into addressing the left tackle position. They got Jalen Moore. They got DJ Humphries. They drafted Josh Simmons. And at this point, they've done so much at the left tackle position now that the right tackle position, the starting position, is even in question. You know, it may not be Juwan Taylor. I think the offensive line. Oh, yeah.
DJ Humphries is gone.
Oh, is he gone? Yeah, but it's still, they still went out and got DJ Humphries. I mean, they were throwing everything last year, and that never worked out, obviously. But they've done so much with the left tackle position now that it's almost an embarrassment of riches now that they've inadvertently maybe improved at the right tackle position without even trying. So the mental errors, I don't believe were just Mahomes' fault. They were, but they weren't. But still, with what we've seen as far as mental errors are concerned around the NFL, you want to talk about Lamar Jackson. He's a great quarterback until late in the game, high pressure situation, late in the season, high pressure situation, he kind of breaks down. We're not talking about the same kind of mental errors. We're talking about mental errors where Mahomes had 1.2 seconds to get rid of the ball and just made bad throws. I mean, it was a great game plan on the Eagles' part to come out with the way that they played defense. But I think that they've addressed them. Do you not agree with me there, Bob? You kind of had a little smirk on your face, like you had something.
I was reading chat. No. I agree. They. I mean, Brett Veach came out swinging. I mean, we're going to be paying $15 million for a guy this year that's probably going to be the swing tackle guard for the entire line. But that's a good thing to have, in my opinion. I think Brett Veach had to do that. They didn't know they were going to get Josh Williams. And even if they did think they were going to get Josh, they didn't think he was going to be this healthy, this fast.
No.
Nobody did.
No, not at all.
Well, at least maybe they did. Maybe they knew, but none of us did. Nobody thought Josh was going to be ready till maybe mid-season. And if you say you did, I'd like to see a tweet or a receipt, because I don't know anybody that said Josh was going to be starting week 1 of preseason. So, yeah, show me a receipt or.
Yeah, you were right. I mean, even the Chiefs were talking about, this is a pick for the future. And maybe that was just them like, we're going to say what everybody thinks, but we really know what's happening. But I don't think so. I think the Chiefs were fully committed to putting the time and effort in to make this guy healthy and bring him in, hopefully mid-season. I think that's what we were talking about when that first show after the draft is hopefully this guy can be a starter by mid-season. So, yeah, super excited, super pumped for Josh Simmons. And after seeing him at training camp, even more super pumped. And this guy's, you called him He-Man out there.
What is this?
Okay, so so that's a response. Hold on.
Chat?
Yeah, hold on a second. Where was it? Oh, it's up a little bit here. I think it was something Brian said. It's always Brian.
I think it was a good thing that Mom. I think it was a good thing. I think.
Oh, here it was. Yeah.
A short Sasquatch is like he was very powerful, like a bowling ball is what I think he was trying to say.
Brian said Otis might have been a midget Sasquatch the way he tossed tacklers into the upper deck.
Yep. Yeah, and I think my mom was thinking Sasquatch was like a bad thing, or maybe just midget.
Said, I don't know about Otis being a midget Sasquatch. I just remember he could run like the wind once he got going.
Like kind of
like a freight
bowling
train
ball, you know.
Yeah.
Like he just keeps going, or a snowball, gaining mass and speed. But I want to remind everybody who's watching, if you haven't liked the live stream, it'll help it get out to others after we're done. Please do that. Thank you so much.
Oh, Jason said, yeah, me too. Josh Simmons is a Buckeye. So a little known fact
Buckeye on the team
about my buddy Jason here. He is a Buckeye fan, like a fan. I can't get him to shut up about the Buckeyes when we're talking football. He's from Ohio, so that kind of explains that a little bit. But oh, look who we got back in chat here, King Jamie. Hi, boys. Been in Nebraska hanging out with my 78-year-old father. I sure love that feller. Sorry, I've been MIA. Hey, no need to explain, man. My father passed when he was 78, so spend all the time that you can with that man. You will not regret it.
Don't.
We'll be all right, buddy. That. But thank you for coming back, man. We appreciate it, buddy.
Yep. Yeah. Everybody spend as much time with your parents as you can humanly possible.
Mm-hmm.
It goes by. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking or I'm gonna start crying. Yeah. What are we? Okay, so next, dude. So Jaden Hicks is confusing the crap out of me. Like so. Okay, so currently the Chiefs plan. In our first preseason game, the starters are Chamari Conner at strong safety and Brian Cook at free safety. And I'm so confused about that. Mike Edwards is second team and Jaden Hicks is second team. I feel like what they're doing is they're just playing like their current depth chart here is just like BS.
Do you think this is do you think this is a what's the word? An experience reaction right here? I haven't seen anything out of Jaden Hicks that doesn't make me think that he deserves that spot.
He should be like Jaden Hicks is the only one that I know should be a starting safety. Like Mike Edwards, cool. Jamar Conner, cool. Brian Cook, cool. I will say Brian Cook looks like he's back to form. Looks like he's like back to the guy he was before the injury. He looked pretty bad last year at a lot of looks. And Chamari Conner's always been great at safety. He just was forced to play nickel last year, and that's not his. That's not his bag. Like that's not his strength, and he did have even flashes of looking pretty good, but that's just not his. That's not his spot. So, yeah.
And your buddy Reed, one of your best friends, Justin Reed, even said that he kind of expected Jaden to take over that role after he left. So that's starting to become something I really want to pay attention to, especially in these preseason games. Because if he's not a starter, we're going to see him a lot in the preseason games, I think.
Yeah, this is just really weird. He's looked amazing in camp too. Just like getting like he has gotten so. He might have the most picks in camp, Jaden Hicks. Like the most picks. I wish they had stats for that. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
I wouldn't.
awesome.
I wouldn't take anything out of stats from training camp though, because it's, we're not talking about Mahomes throwing the ball every single time. Sometimes
But I would
third
still
and
like
fourth.
it.
Sure.
Like I would still like to see it.
Sure.
Well, and also, this is something I talked about with Jules at the dog park last night. When you see Mahomes throw picks in camp, that's because he's a good quarterback. People don't understand this. Practice is practice. And the quarterbacks that hold on to that ball and scramble or don't throw the ball are actually the bad quarterbacks that aren't giving their team proper opportunity to practice. So in practice, you have to go ahead and throw the bad throws. If you scramble and run, who the F cares?
Yeah.
Like, you have just taken a rep from somebody else. And so Mahomes, looks great in camp, but he's thrown a lot of interceptions in camp. And what that tells me is he's smart and good and allowing his team to actually get reps at possible pick opportunities where younger guys often won't do that. You actually look at Mahomes in training camps early on. He would just scramble. He wouldn't throw the ball. Now he does, giving our defensive guys a chance to actually practice. Yeah.
Yeah, make a play.
So, but yeah.
Well said, Bob. That's a really good point.
Yeah, so I don't think it matters what quarterback's in there. I think it's just like, a lot of these are tipped balls, So I'm just trying to look and see if the Chiefs website is set the same. Okay, the Chiefs website is set differently than the ESPN site. See, that's why you guys should watch ESPN. Like, they're behind the ball on everything.
They got a lot to cover.
I know. That's why. That's why they're behind the ball.
Not just all 32 teams, but all other sports
all
too.
Other sports, yeah.
They got a lot to cover.
They're out there covering, flag.
That's
football.
why you should watch us. You should like our videos and listen to people that are paying attention to this team and this team only. Well, not only, but predominantly.
What do you think about flag football?
I think it's a fun thing for kids. I think it's a great opportunity for kids to go out, have fun playing football, and not have to worry about concussions.
That's such a cookie answer.
I mean, as far as adults,
I thought I had our clip, and I was totally going to play it, but
yeah, I mean,
I probably shouldn't, but it really is.
I'm not going to spend 2 minutes watching adults play flag football. It just doesn't appeal.
I didn't know much. I didn't know much about it until the last two months, and the more I learned about it, it's just like,
yeah, no disrespect to the people that go out there and play and have fun doing it. I mean, it's going to be an Olympic sport.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Cool, but as a fan,
dad playing, if you're a dad playing, like, that'd be great. I'd love to go out and play some flag football. I'm just saying. It's pretty lame. It's a smaller football. It's lame, man. Like, if we're comparing it to NFL football,
yeah, it's a whole other sport. It's a whole other sport. It's like comparing baseball and softball. It's two completely different things.
No, it's not even close to that. Softball is like softball and baseball. Like, way closer than flag football and football. way closer.
Well, I know that you did some research into flag football, so you definitely
I
can
know,
talk better
and I
on
was
that
so
topic.
Bummed. I was so bummed.
I'm so disinterested in flag football. I'm not willing to put the time in to research anything about it. I just know it's something I'm not interested in watching.
Oh,
I do know that when we went to that practice, though, together, or the training camp together, the girls' flag football team was there. I believe Mahomes brought the girls' flag football team.
Really?
The kids. Yeah, there were a bunch of little girls there that were in the VIP area.
The VIP area?
Yeah, where Tomba was.
I thought you meant they were like playing.
No. He brought them there as guests to watch and sit in the VIP area. Which, how is it possible for a 50-year-old man like myself to be jealous of these little girls? But I was definitely. They got to sit with all the Chiefs legends. Yeah, that was awesome.
All right, so biggest disappointment in camp so far. What's yours, Buck? I have mine.
Biggest disappointment in camp.
Absolute biggest.
I mean, I'd have to say right now, knowing Josh Simmons has gotten in 2 fights, I think that's my biggest disappointment is just to know that he's having a hard time keeping that in check. But I guess I'm glad to know that before the season starts. So if something happens early on in the season and they pull him for that, which I think is less likely than pulling Gelati, like I thought you were talking about, I guess that's my biggest concern. What about you?
Well,
what's your answer? I know you got a good one.
That's a concern of mine, but I was asking you biggest letdown, or did I say letdown, Chad, or did I?
I think you said disappointment.
Disappointment, yeah. So that's kind of the same as a letdown.
Yeah.
So
same thing.
Mine is FAU, dude. FAU showed some bright spots at the end of last season. I was hoping that he went into the off season working as hard as he possibly could, maybe talking to Tomba, and I don't think any of that happened because he has looked like nothing. Like literally nothing in camp. No spark, nothing. I mean, like not even one play that I could think about to like give him some props. He's literally looked like the bust that we have thought he was, and that's a first-round pick we took in Kansas City, a K-Stater. Like K-State, like should disown him. You know,
I
like,
think
it's you know, and I'm a KU alum, so it's but I love Nick Bolton. He's Mizzou. Like I was rooting for FAU, but he's looking to be a dud of a dud. And I don't like that. And
I was
convinced
convinced
pisses me off
that Gelati was going to be the heir apparent for Karlaftis. That's the way it looked to me. I didn't think they were going to get Karlaftis signed, but now they got Karlaftis signed. It looked like it was something that was planned all along. They really wanted to get that deal done. So maybe that's the replacement for FAU. And I mean, maybe they saw that coming.
No, I mean, dude, Karlaftis, like FAU was supposed to maybe be the replacement for Karlaftis. Like he's literally never done anything. He's been a complete bust, and he's our first-round pick at the end of the first round in Kansas City when the draft was here. And I'm just angry. I'm
Brett Veach can't get them all right.
Like, everybody kind of gets on Sky, and I'm like, dude, Sky is better than FAU, and should have known.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. If you want to talk about first-round picks and Brett Veach and completely striking out on FAU, did he make up for it with the Josh Simmons pickup the first round this season, being able to trade back one pick, still get this guy that we all thought probably wasn't going to play a whole lot in the first season, maybe by the end of 2025, and now he's looking like he's going to start week 1. Did they make up for that bad pick for FAU?
No.
You don't think so?
But I don't think he had
How could they have done better?
No,
How could they have?
No, this is on FAU. This is not on Veach. FAU should have been better. Like I firmly believe that he has just been lazy. Like that's all there is to it. He's had all kinds of opportunities. He's had every opportunity. I don't think this is on Veach at all. I think this is on FAU. Veach did great the year before, the year after. No, this is on FAU. And I'm just mad that he has just completely.
Well, that's still part of Veach's. That's still part of Brett Veach's job, though, is to kind of foresee those kind of character issues with a guy that has that kind of potential.
Good luck at that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a crapshoot.
Yeah, he's done a really good job. So I'm just saying I'm not blaming Veach at all.
No.
He didn't make up for anything. He's done a great job. This is on FAU, and I'm just pretty bummed that he's such a letdown.
I think you're more than bummed. I think you're disappointed. And that's worse. When my dad used to tell me he was bummed at my choices, it wasn't so bad. But when he said disappointed, ooh, that one hurt. You know, Dad says disappointed, ooh, that hurt.
What is this one?
King Jamie said, Bob, somebody making a joke told my wife to drop me off at the dog park, and she laughed and said I would have the time of my life. That's my girl.
Thanks, Jamie.
Yeah,
thanks.
That's like saying, you should drop your husband off at the bar. Show him a thing or two. Like, no.
Oh, interesting. You're a Huskers fan.
Yeah, he said, King Jamie again said, damn, boys, you both have on some nice lids. Thank you very much. I'm wearing my Nebraska hat these days. It's a total farmer hat, and I love it. Went to high school in Kansas and JUCO, then hit Utah and became an Aggie. Well, that's quite a spread.
So Nebraska Huskers, like that's I hung with my cousin this weekend. He's he's from Omaha, huge Huskers fan.
And a huge Chiefs fan.
Brian, we're just going to put this on here so you get canceled.
Flag football is for girls, children, and Pro Bowlers.
Oh, man.
He's the comic relief here, man.
It's funny because it's true. All right, so what else we got here? Guys, I don't know that I have a whole ton else to talk about. The linebackers are a little weird. But, I mean, we really don't play a lot of linebackers in our defense. So, usually it's like 2, sometimes 1, rarely 3. So, I'm not super worried about the linebacker room. I think we're pretty stacked there. But I am interested in seeing what Jeffrey Bossa does in the first preseason game. That'll be interesting. But do you guys have any questions you want us to tackle? Lingerie football is pretty neat. Yeah, except for those are the girls you don't want to see in lingerie, let's be honest.
I think it's hilarious to see a guy in lingerie at any point, so I'm always down for watching.
Well, Jason Momoa, you can see him in a thong if you watch his new show. Yep. It's Jason Momoa butt all day, if that's what you're into.
I heard Jason Momoa shaved his beard. It might have been clickbait, but I saw it. And he might have for the different. Show. He looked completely different.
All right, so here,
unrecognizable.
Biggest disappointments, the two tight ends being injured. I'm not even really sure that I'm disappointed about that. I wasn't. Everybody was excited about Jake Brittingstool, and I just wasn't super excited about him.
Yeah, he's not even on the depth chart at this point.
Well, he's hurt, but I mean, everybody was so excited about him. I just wasn't. Like, I don't know why. Why does everybody get so excited about the UDFAs? Just because they love like a underdog story, like Rudy.
Well, it's just kind of like you said, some guys are made to play on different teams, and they might. Mecole Hardman comes to mind. He was effective as a Kansas City Chief. And then he went to the Jets. And
but he wasn't a UDFA. I'm specifically
No, I
asking
know.
UDFAs.
But he's a UDFA because he wasn't good enough to make it in the first 7 rounds of the draft, right? And some teams saw some promise in him, and they bring him in. There's always guys that the powers or the mouths of ESPN and whatnot think that this guy would be a steal. He should have been drafted in the 3rd round, and now he's undrafted. So there's always stories about those guys. Why not get excited about him? I mean, yeah, it's kind of like said, the underdog story.
Yeah, it's just it seems there's always so much more excitement about the UDFAs than the actual draft picks. And I think the 7 draft picks we did this year deserve excitement.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, yeah, we're all excited about these ones before, but I wasn't. I'm excited about all 7 draft picks this year for the first time in my life. Been excited for every draft pick that we made. Even the 7th rounder, Rashee Smith, who I think is going to be really good.
I'm definitely coming around to the 7th round guy, Rashee Smith, a little bit more. I mean, when we first drafted it, all I could think of was, Isaiah Pacheco was a 7th round draft pick. And to me, he is the peak of what a 7th round draft pick can be on a team. And if that's what we're getting as another running back, I mean, all right, cool. But the fact that he's, that they're using him in training camp, kind of the way that you talked about, a lot more of a receiving running back. And Andy Reid loves to throw those screens. He could be very effective in this offense. I think a lot of Chiefs fans that aren't expecting to see much out of him, I think they might be surprised. I really do. I agree with you, man. I'm excited about every one of the draft picks this year.
So King Jamie likes women's curling.
The kings like thick ladies who winter well.
But I think he likes it for a different reason.
I did curling.
I think he likes it for the cutting glass reason. I'm trying to be I'm trying to be very
politically correct. Yeah. Yeah.
He likes to see a little bit of poke. I'm gonna stop.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got there? Oh, he's still talking about skinny women. Hell, Bundy style. All right. We can't talk about this on the podcast, guys. Give us something we can talk about.
Disappointment is because we have found. All right, HD Chiefs fan. He was kind of talking about the whole disappointment thing. The reason for the disappointment is because we have to find real quality replacement. Yeah.
Do we, though, in the tight end room? If Carson Steele's going to be a backup tight end, do we really need to find any more than just one extra tight end, which we could very much have in we've got Kelsey, we've got Gray. Robert Tonyan fits in as that third guy. Do we really need another? I mean, we last year we had to get by with a bunch of tight ends. We were running weird sets with 3 tight ends, do we want to run that? No. Especially if we're not a running team, you know what I mean? We don't want to run that. We want to run wide receivers. I don't think we need, in a perfect world, we're having one tight end on the field at a time, and we're airing that ball out. We're not throwing short to tight ends. That's my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just how I feel. I feel we're in a better spot now because we don't need tight ends.
I feel we're in a better spot right now simply because Travis Kelce is taking this so seriously, and he's looking better Not the same, but better than he was last year. And at 35 years old, that's hard to do. That's hard for these guys to go out and improve their game after, I don't want to say a lackluster season because he was still a top 5 tight end last season, but he wasn't the Travis Kelce that we all know and love. That he isn't the Travis Kelce that he was before last year. So his commitment to improving this season, I think it's showing. Yeah, I just think that there's not a lot to worry about right there. My only concern for the tight ends would be for the future. It doesn't look like they've got an heir apparent to Travis Kelce right now, and this could be his last season.
Yeah, and I don't know that you need that. Most teams don't deal with a all world tight end.
That's right.
I mean, we're actually the weird ones that won Super Bowls with an all world tight end. Tell me who else did it? Like with an all world tight end, like the guy that's like basically your best receiver on the team.
Yeah, that's usually. I mean, the teams that have the all world tight end usually aren't making the Super Bowl.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, so like we actually like we changed the narrative, but we don't need an all world tight end. Most teams don't have it. I mean, and tight ends are having more of a problem. You saw it last year. Tight end productivity went down overall last year. So I don't know that it's that big of a deal, as long as we're getting good wide receivers. But yeah, so Brian says, not bagging on Noel, but we utterly failed to push McDuffie inside. I don't think we failed yet. We still need to know what's up with Christian Fulton, and McDuffie pushed inside all this last week. Like, he had plenty of snaps inside. That's what we were talking about. Najee Johnson was taking outside like it was Jalen Watson and Najee Johnson taking outside reps and letting McDuffie go on the inside, giving him practice at it. So I don't know for sure that that's still not going to be the thing. Like, they just might be keeping it quiet, because McDuffie is like one of the best, slot corners we've ever seen in the last 20 years. And the slot position is more important than ever in today's game. And he's like a top 5 outside corner, so. And if we keep him from going to Pro Bowls, he's going to be cheaper for us when we actually do re-sign him. So put him in that slot. That slot. I'm kind of kidding with that, but it's funny because it's true.
It's true, but
he actually was cheaper for us on the 5th-year option because he hasn't made like as many Pro Bowls and everything. So, but Noel, it sounds like Noel's made some really good plays in camp. I've seen him shine out, but it sounds like he's not picking up on the playbook as quickly as he needs to. Like, he's going to be out there ball hawking, but he's not really picking up on, he's just not grasping things. He's the opposite of what Jalen Royals is doing, where he's literally sponging up everything, but they're working with him hard. So I
wonder why that is.
It's still too early to talk.
Do you think that's a symptom of, maybe not spending as much time studying when he's not on the practice field? I mean, I don't know. And I know you don't know the answer. I just, why is one guy picking it up so quickly while another guy, when they're even spending more time working with him, do you think he's just not taking it as seriously as he should?
Oh, I don't think that. From what I saw from him, like, he wants to do it. I think he was probably a guy that excelled extremely well without having to learn as much of a system at Cal.
Because of his physical gifts.
Yeah.
And he's learning that he can't just rely on that at this level.
Maybe he can. I don't know. Like, I'm gonna have to see him in games, but he's definitely a hit or miss guy, and that could be scary on the outside because it could be an interception our way, or it could be something else. But you just skipped over what I thought was a good one from King Jamie.
Oh, I thought we were done talking about that. My bad.
Well, it's just I was confused of what he was saying. We didn't say Travis had a bad year.
No. I think he's responding to what I said because last year was an off year for Travis, and I think he was kind of arguing a little bit. I think that last year wasn't a bad year for Travis. As far as Travis Kelce standards, he was still a top 5 tight end last season, and that was his off year. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Buk agrees with you that we are spoiled.
1,000%. We went from Tony Gonzalez to Travis Kelce. I mean, yeah, it's an embarrassment of riches is what that is.
Who are you going to put on? Okay, so
on Jamar, yeah.
Jamar Chase is what you're talking about.
Jamar Chase. I think that's what Brian's talking about, yeah.
We don't play him.
If we play him in the playoffs.
If we play him in the playoffs.
If they make the playoffs.
That's a big freaking if. I mean, should we really even talk about that? I mean, we don't play him in the regular season because they're now on the tier 2 schedule. We're on the tier 1. Like, at least they didn't drop to the tier 3 schedule, but we don't play him at all.
But let's say we do. Let's say we play him. Who are you going to put on Jamar? It's a great question because he is one of the best wide receivers in the game, if not the best right now. Top 3 for sure. If he gets traded to the Broncos, and we got to play him twice, who are you going to put on?
McDuffie's kind of struggled with him, though. Like, McDuffie's a little short for him.
I think what Spags would do is he would do one of two things. He's going to wait until the week, or probably the week or two before we play them, and he's just going to go by who's playing the best at that point. Either that, or he's going to throw, shotgun style, where he's just going to throw everything he can. He's going to try to double team him every play and make somebody else beat him.
I would double him with Jaden Hicks and a corner. That's what I would do with, and we're talking, this could be different. If I was actually calling plays, it could be different every play, depending.
I think that's what you got to do.
If we're talking just in a world where I'm saying this guy, I can only put one guy on this guy, I'm going to put Jaden Hicks on him, and I'm going to double him with a corner.
I just don't think there's too many.
Depends on the play being called.
I don't think there's too many corners that can handle Jamar Chase right now one-on-one. I don't think that's just one of those things. That's a lot to ask.
A double team. I think I actually put McDuffie on what's his name, Higgins.
Oh yeah, TJ. Is that his?
Yeah. That's the other one they kept when they shouldn't, right? TJ Higgins.
Mm-hmm. And he's awesome too. I think he just kind of gets shadowed a little bit because Jamar Chase is so damn good.
Yeah. But you're gonna have to double. Yeah, T, not TJ. T Higgins.
T Higgins. Okay.
So
TJ didn't feel right.
You're gonna have to double Chase. So I say you put Hicks and a corner on Chase if we're talking just blanket, and then I would have McDuffie on T Higgins, and I think that's your best matchup for that. But it's so much more complicated than that in the actual game. But if we're just talking blanket, then yeah.
That was a good question.
Here?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that was a great question.
King Jamie still harping on
What
the
is
Travis
this one?
stuff. HD Chiefs fan said, did anyone see where Tyreek said that has started taking notes in meetings this year so he can better understand the playbook? Seems like our front office knew something.
Tyreek, man. Worthy has been okay. So so this is something we haven't talked about. Worthy has been doing some Tyreek shit. Okay, remember how I talked about early on in the season last year? I was like, dude, I want to see Worthy change up his speed on the field because he's running his routes at full speed every time, right? But I want to see him do what Tyreek used to do, or still does, where he kind of like slows and then comes back in to the speed. Like he's like, if you watch Tyreek run routes, he's changing up speed rather than going at his full speed. A corner or safety can really gauge you if you're always running at full speed. And that's what Worthy was doing pretty much all of last year when he ran routes. But in training camp, he's been doing exactly what I talked about, changing up the speed and really showing him, oh, boom, he's gone, and so, yeah, Tyreek never really had to like learn that type of stuff because he was one of the best route runners I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And he just did it. He didn't start like that, so there's probably coaching that was involved, but
I'm sure.
he is, when he left here, he was one of the best route runners I've ever seen in my entire life.
I think that's also, a byproduct of, in his first season, with the pressure that was put on him, he just felt like he had to go at 105% at all times. And now he's not expected to be that guy, and he can really, and he can improve. Yeah, and he's taken the coaching, which shows that he's willing to learn. Yeah, I'm really excited about Worthy this year. He's. I think that we're going to get some things from Worthy that we weren't necessarily expecting.
I don't know what this question is here.
Well, he was still kind of talking about the Travis Kelce thing. How many yards did Travis need at Denver to hit 1,000? I thought he was already over 900.
But Travis didn't play at Denver the last
right.
game.
I think right. But I think he was talking about him getting to 1,000. Yeah.
If he would have played, he was at like 800 sub. Here, hold on, I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
But he doesn't care. He doesn't. He could have been at 999 yards going into that game. He would not have cared. It's all about Super Bowls.
823. He would have needed. He would have needed 177. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, he wouldn't have got that. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have cared. That is not the goal here. He's not the guy looking for records. I'm sure he would appreciate records, but
postseason.
Yeah, that's all he.
Yeah. He would have been pissed if you would have put him out to get that. Like he would have been mad. Like he would be like, save me for the postseason. What are you talking about?
Especially at his age.
The people that care about those records are people that are not on the Chiefs. Like the Chiefs are winning championships, and it changes your whole mentality because if you listen to ESPN and all these different things, they talk about championships. Like they don't talk about those. Like the guys on the Raiders for the last decade, the guys on the Broncos for the last decade, the guys on the Chargers for the last decade care about that regular season stats. The guys that aren't making it to the big game, those are the guys that care. Travis is just like, dude, that's
Super Bowl.
That's below me,
Yeah.
Like, that's basically what he's saying. It's kind of rude to all the other because so many teams aren't as lucky. Like we were those teams. Like we were toting about Tony. Well, Tony's the greatest of all time, but we haven't, won a playoff game in forever. But it was like that's our thing. Okay, so shut up. Like that's where we're so lucky now, where we were not lucky before at all. And so that's why people care about those. That's why so many people care about those. But we're living in a championship time, in a dynasty, and we don't care about that. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Travis has 3 rings. Better than Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah.
So sorry, Tony was great. But Tony was going for the stuff in the regular season because he was never going to make it to the big game. And that's sad. That's the difference. And that's something that being on one side and now being on the other, I actually understand, you know? And I didn't prior. I always wanted those records, those things.
When Tony was going for those records, I was full steam ahead. Tony Gonzalez is the greatest ever. But we all knew that he was never going to make it to the Super Bowl with the Chiefs. I rooted for him as a Falcon. I did. I was hoping he would get there. He deserved it. He's a great, great player. But Travis, his mindset is different, 100%, completely different. None of that matters.
Yep.
He could get 500 yards this season. If the team is winning, he doesn't care. It doesn't mean he's not as good of a tight end anymore. It just means that Patrick has not had to go there as much. You know, if they're double teaming Travis every play of the season, he's going to get 500 yards. But that means that somebody's either uncovered or everybody else is single covered. So, yeah, absolutely. You know, Travis is just on another level. Yeah. King Jamie said a little while ago, spoiled rotten, and I love it. Absolutely. We are spoiled rotten at the tight end position.
This is, Buck, I need to check private chat real quick, but I'm going to read this out, though. This is something interesting. Dante was so amazing. You're talking about Dante Hall, right? So, dude, returns are going to be back, guys. Okay, so Dave Tobe, you know, so we talked about it last year when they were changing the rules. We talked about how we thought that it needed to go to the 40 for teams to always kick it in bounds and not take a touchback. But now it's going to the 35, and Tobe seems to think that 85% of the time teams are going to kick it in bounds and not take a touchback. And he also talked about there's 7-ish, he thinks it's 7-ish rugby players signed to different teams to do the end over end punt. Like not the spiral punt that all of us, you know, yikes do here, you know, but these Australians, these effing no, sorry, can't do it. Can't say the C word, but they say it like it's, you know, dude. Like that's their dude in Australia. That's something I've learned doing gaming podcasts and doing so many things with Australians. But they do an end over end punt, which is completely different and something that Sky Moore is just like, oh God.
Yeah, you know? It's Sky Moore's nightmare. He can't even catch it when it's a spiral.
It's a spiral.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sky. You are a really nice guy here. But so he thinks 85% of the time people are going to be returning kicks, which will be really exciting. We thought last year that it needed to be at the 40. We knew the 30 wasn't going to work. We were right about that.
Yep.
But we thought it needed, we talked about the 35. So we might turn out to be wrong because we thought the 35 wouldn't be enough and people would still kick it out. We thought it needed to be the 40. But Tobe, who's a lot smarter than us, seems to think that 85% of returns are going to happen, which is going to be exciting for stars like Dante Hall to come back into the mix. Because who talks about returners for the last decade?
Yeah, it's gone away.
Nobody.
Yeah, it's gone away. That aspect of the game of football is truly missed right now. And the NFL is doing the best they can. Well, I mean, they're doing a good job at trying to make it an important part of the game again. And it's, you know, it's an aspect that makes the game exciting. It's fun to watch. It's no longer a pee break time. You know, it's Deion Sanders made every game exciting when he was returning, and that's what they want to get back to. And that gives every team an opportunity to bring on a guy that's that exciting. And we're kind of hoping that Nico is that guy, aren't we?
I mean, honestly, I'm sorry, I'm not rooting for Nico. I'm rooting for Rashee Smith.
Well, yeah, self-reliant or
yeah, I'm
self-fulfilling.
I'm just
fantasy,
like, yeah, it's like I just don't want somebody who is just returning. That's my problem.
Like Dante did?
If Nico could be a Dante, okay. Like, if he's going to be just returning stuff, fine. Like, yeah, I'm cool with that. But I don't think that's what Nico is. But I could be very, very wrong. I mean, he did amazing in the last few games of the season, and he turned heads. So I could be completely wrong. I watch him miss so many passes on the offensive side of the ball. It just kind of, it just kind of is. But yeah, I'm excited to see these new end over end punts though, because that's gonna be nuts. That's gonna be nuts.
Yeah. I wonder who's going to be the guy that's able to kick it for us end over end like that.
I don't think we have a guy. I mean, we had Zamet last year, but he went back to rugby.
Did he?
Yeah, all chiefed up. We're talking about him, and Steve was like, he just needs to go back and play rugby. And somebody in chat was like, he just announced today he's going back to rugby.
Well, good for him. All right. Yeah. Well, what do you think, Bob?
I do have one last thing.